Greetings from Tokyo. My name is Daisuke Beppu, and I hope you are all having a really nice day today. My friends, I am very happy because I had some pretty neat things happen to me over the past few weeks, and in fact, starting from last month. And if I may, I'd like to share some of those with you in this video. So, the first thing is that last weekend I was very honored and privileged and very fortunate, in fact, to have been invited to be a guest participant in a cinema-themed podcast. And I think some of you who are into the Criterion Collection and who are part of the Criterion Collection, let's say, a fan community online, will probably recognize the name of David Blakeslee. David Blakeslee is a very prominent film, I would say he is a very big film aficionado, and he is his own film critic and blogger and also podcaster. And he very kindly invited me to participate in one of his podcast episodes regarding a film in the Criterion Collection writ large. And that film that we talked about was the film Bombay Talkie. This is a film from 1970, and it's an early film from the filmmaking team of Merchant Ivory. If you know Merchant Ivory films, you know the name Ismail Merchant and James Ivory, and also Ruth Prowler Jabala. So I have the DVD right here. Now this is a DVD that is part of the Merchant Ivory collection that was released through the Criterion Collection. You can see the Criterion Collection logo up here in very small lettering here. This is a very interesting film, and I just wanted to say that I was very nervous about appearing on this podcast for many reasons. The first being that I was not necessarily a fan of this film when I had first seen it some time back. I thought it was a bit of an insufferable film because of the characters. I thought the characters were not so how should I put it, sympathetic. But David very kindly invited me to participate regarding this film, and that was some time back, so I had a chance to revisit this film and to study it and to read up on it. And in fact, I grew, I think, very much to appreciate this film, and in fact, even like the film quite a bit. And so now I can see through the qualities or the aspects of the film that I thought were insufferable back in the day, and I can see through those, and I can try to appreciate them better with a fresh set of eyes, so to speak. So I was very enthusiastic when I was preparing for the podcast episode, and David and another podcast guest there, his name is Josh, were both very courteous and kind, and they were also very astute with their comments, quite focused, and really brought up some excellent points about the nature of this film and the nature of Merchant Ivory films in general, and also the nature of Bombay films and the Bombay film industry, which sets which is the backdrop for the story of this film. So I was very thrilled to have been asked to participate in that podcast. So I really have to thank David and Josh for their real, their really kind courtesy and allowing me to make my comments, even if they were not as profound and as well thought out as David's and Josh's comments were. I thought their comments were really excellent. I wish I thought my train of thinking. I wish I had planned it out a bit more carefully. But again, Josh and David were really really fantastic to be with. So it was such an easy thing to do with those two there. They really made it really easy. And I must also say that being on a podcast with David Blakeslee, and this was my first time on podcasts, and I listened to his podcast for some years, and I've been listening to him for many, maybe a good 3 or 4 years at least, and I'm a big fan of his, and so he's a bit of a hero to me because he is one of the very popular figures in the Criterion Collection online fan community. So to have the opportunity to be on a podcast with him and to exchange a discussion with him and to hear his points and to feed off of what he had to say and try to make my own comments accordingly was a real delight, and it was a fantastic time. I was really quite I felt very rejuvenated, and I felt very alive, so to speak. It was a real pleasure, and David is a real gentleman, so I was so thrilled and honored, and I still am. It's one of the I'm very proud to have been able to share some time with the great David Blakeslee. So if you're interested, I will leave a link below, and that'll lead to the Criterion Reflections podcast page, and you can click on the page where it says Bombay Talkie. But I would recommend that you don't stop there. I would recommend that you continue to explore that wonderful podcast, because there's many episodes in that podcast where David and a guest or a number of guests come together and talk about a particular film. And don't worry, because we don't spoil the film Bombay Talkie. If you're interested in watching it, you can listen to the conversation, and hopefully you won't be too spoiled. We don't give anything away about the specific details or any surprises or the ending or anything of that sort. So if you're interested, please, if you have a spare moment, I would encourage you just to take a listen. Maybe not so much for my comments, but more for Josh's comments and for David's comments, because their comments were so much better than mine. Another thing that happened to me, this actually happened about a month ago, but I've been saving my my comments on it to now. My dear friend, my dear friend, whose name is Preston, he did something really kind to me, and I didn't really expect it, but it was a real surprise. So Preston, if you're watching, I hope you're doing well, my friend, and I hope everything is settled down, and you are enjoying yourself, and your friends and family are all well and healthy and happy. Preston, you did something very nice for me. It was really unnecessary at all. I know it was probably a big deal, and it was probably a little bit of a hassle. You would never admit it, I'm sure, because you're such a gentleman and you're so polite all the time, but it's not easy to ship things overseas to another country, I know. So I'm sure there must have been some hassle involved, so I apologize for that. But Preston, he sent me this. Can you believe this? Can you believe this? This is the Blu-ray of Big Trouble in Little China, and look at this. It is a slipcover. Okay, this is a slipcover. This is the U.S. Blu-ray, and it comes with this wonderful slipcover. Now, if I take it off, you've got the Blu-ray here, which I haven't opened yet. I really should open it one day, but it's the 20th Century Fox Blu-ray. With the audio commentary and all new 5.1 DTS isolated score track, deleted scenes, extended ending, and a featurette, a music video, and a Richard Edlund interview, and other items. But what's really cool is this slipcover. This is really fascinating. I'm not much for slipcovers, but this is very interesting, and I love this. I love this artwork, and it's got the great font for the title, and it feels nice, and it's nice quality. Oh, Oh, and I love this too. See that says Big Trouble in Little China, but it's embossed, I think, and it kind of, you can put your finger over it and it feels different. Oh, this is really nice. And the same is true for the font here. Oh, gosh. Preston, so this is one of the nicest things anyone has ever done for me, and you knew of my love for this film, and you went ahead and you sent this to me, and you didn't, you know, it was a big surprise. So thank you very much, Preston. This is really great. This is one of the nicest items that I've ever received in the mail. So thank you so much. I will treasure this always, and it'll be a symbol of our friendship. And whenever I see this film, I will always think of you, Preston. So thank you very much. Thank you. Next, also, what's the phrase? Christmas comes early. So I showed you the disc of Big Trouble in Little China, but I also received a couple other Blu-rays from other friends of mine, very dear friends of mine, that I was so fortunate to have met through YouTube first, and they are such nice people. I'm so happy to have been able to meet them. So Lindsey and Ethan, you very kindly, very, very kindly sent me these two Blu-rays, and you knew that we were talking about this, and you knew that I had never seen these films yet, and you know that I'm not so good with my recent releases. I haven't seen many of the recent releases, so I'm very bad about that. And you knew that I wanted to see these films, and you went out of your way to send these to me from overseas, and I was just so thrilled. Thank you. So the first one is this. Look what they sent me. The Blu-ray of Moonlight. Can you believe this? This is really wonderful. This is a Blu-ray and digital HD. It has a nice slipcover, and there it is. Look at that. Look at that. This is great. And look, it says 6 Golden Globe nominations, including Best Picture and Best Director. So it doesn't yet say the Academy Award winning Moonlight. So I suppose, oh, it does say it actually. Here we go. So it says it on the slipcover there. Oh gosh, this is really wonderful. I've been wanting to see this for such a long time. So thank you so much for this. This is really great. Thank you. Oh gosh. And the other film that you sent to me so kindly was this film, which I haven't seen yet, believe it or not. Phantom Thread. Phantom Thread. Oh, I've wanted to see this for the longest time. And obviously because it's a Paul Thomas Anderson film starring Daniel Day-Lewis. So, and it is, oh gosh, this is really great. You know, this got me to thinking, why have I not seen these films? And it's just simply because I don't have time to go to the movie theaters as much as I would like, and I don't necessarily go out and rent new films when they're immediately released, because usually it's very difficult for me to get a copy because they're usually all rented out, and I don't necessarily am able to rent a copy when they're first released, and I usually tend to forget about them, and then I have other films that I like to watch, so that occupies my time. So the time, again, I wish there were more than 24 hours in a day, but to have these actual Blu-rays in my hands now just helps me so much to become motivated to watch them. So now I will probably watch these. I will watch these very soon. Thanks to you guys, Lindsey and Ethan. Thank you so much. This really means the world to me, so much. And you know, you didn't have to do it, and I know it costs money to send these things overseas, and it's, you know, they're 2 discs, so they're probably not the lightest things in the world. So again, Phantom Thread and Moonlight. So I will think of you very fondly when I see these films. So I'm very happy because now I have a pleasant memory to which I can associate whenever I think of these films now. So this is very kind of you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm so happy. And Lindsey, we spoke about this before, but you were one of the first to send comments to me through YouTube. So I tried to answer all of your questions to the best of my ability. There was one comment that I have yet to respond to in earnest, and I don't know if you remember, but it was the comment that you made where you asked me to make a video about my favorite Criterion designs or Criterion packaging. And I replied to you and said that I would do that, but I haven't done it as of today. I wanted to let you know that although I haven't made such video, I haven't forgotten, and I will hopefully make a video like that. I do have some ideas about Criterion designs and packaging that I particularly like. So I will try to get to that. Again, I apologize if I haven't gotten to it right now. It's just, again, I wish I had more time in the day, but unfortunately I don't. So that has prohibited me from making more videos than I have actually been doing. So I hope you will accept my apologies on that front. But I will try to put together something as soon as I can. I really, really mean that. Okay, so let me just end right there and just say thank you very much to Lindsey and to Ethan and to Preston for your really just kind gifts here. This is really wonderful. I will never forget your kindness. It's just, it really makes my day. And I want to thank all of you for watching as well. I'm always so thrilled and happy, and I think most importantly for me, I always learn so much from you guys and your comments and your enthusiasm. It really is inspiring, and it helps me to become more motivated to watch more films and to learn about new films that you are teaching me or informing me about. And you're leaving comments and you're messaging me. So I'm very, I feel very fortunate and very lucky to be able to share with you just a few thoughts that I have about some films. And again, I'm just a nobody. I'm just a regular guy, so I'm not a professional critic. So I am always so, how should I put it? I think that as much as I enjoy making comments to share with you, I think that more so you have so much that you can share with me and share with the rest of us, because you have so many great insights and so much knowledge and so much depth of knowledge and a wide scope of films that you've seen, much wider than my own viewing. So please, if you have any recommendations for films, or if you have any suggestions or anything of the kind, please let me know anytime, and I'd be very happy to engage with you as best as I can. Just one point I should make before I go is that I'm trying to reach all of the comments that I can, but sometimes, for whatever reason, I will be able to see a comment, but I won't be able to reply to it for some reason. I'm not sure. So if you feel like I've not answered your comment, or if you feel like I've neglected your comment, I really apologize. I'm trying to address all the comments as best as I can, but once in a while YouTube won't allow me to reply to a particular comment. So if you feel like you haven't received a reply from me, I apologize, but maybe if you want, you can just send it to me again, and I will do my best to reply accordingly. And the same goes for private messages. I've received a number of private messages from a number of people, and I will do my best to address those. But again, if you feel like I'm neglecting you, again, I really apologize. I don't mean to, but if you wouldn't mind just just maybe sending me a reminder, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. But I will try to address all the comments as they come in, because they are all really fantastic. So thank you very much for continuing to inspire me and to motivate me to try to become a better cinephile than I am right now. So thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, so let me end it right there, and thank you again, and I hope you are having a great rest of your day, and please keep watching a lot of wonderful films. Until we meet again, my friends, take care. Cheers.